Hi everyone, my name is Nur Mahira Husna binti Hussein and my matric number is 255335. So I would like to share about the case of corruption in Russia, Ikea'S expansion to the east. So as we know, Ikea is the largest furniture retailer in the worldwide, had entered in the Russian market. Ikea planned to open its first store in Moscow in the year 2000, where they wanted to tap into a huge and potentially highly attractive market of around 146 million consumers. They began its international expansion first to its Scandinavian neighbor Norway and continued to evolve into US market. IKEA proved that the company's new idea of producing and selling low-cost furniture could succeed in the metropolitan market. Soon after the decision to enter Russia, IKEA learned that doing business in this country requires some adjustment. However, IKEA soon struggled to get hold of a prime location at the necessary low cost to fit into the business model. After an unsuccessful search within Moscow, IKEA decided to open the first store 3 miles outside of the city in a place called Khimki. A few weeks before the grand opening of the first IKEA in Russia in the year 2000, the local utility company reportedly approached the company's management and gave an ultimatum. The organization came out with a creative solution against the local utility company's demand for a special service fee. Instead of paying a bribe, the global furniture retailer simply bypassed the utility company by renting diesel generator to power the outlet. But IKEA will soon have learned that corruption in Russia was systemic and could not be easily defeated through innovation or creativity alone. However, significant changes remained during the opening of the next batch of stores. Even IKEA was not going to play the corruption games. Utility company gave in and started providing the necessary electricity. IKEA reportedly faced similar bribing attempts from utility companies, but they found a creative solution to the demand for bribes. Uh, The statement of problem of this case is how corruption in Russia has hindered the expansion of IKEA business in the country. So the city of Moscow blocked the construction of an overpass that was supposed to ease the traffic to the new store of IKEA in Khimki. The IKEA executive take an advantage by taking substantial kickback in the form of weekly cash payment from the diesel generator rental company. IKEA repeatedly encountered more bureaucratic changes. The systemic problem in IKEA has not been solved, where the IKEA management was late to recognize and solve this issue related to the rental of diesel generator. IKEA have to face the issue where the local utility company refused to provide electricity without a bribe. At the various instances, other bureaucratic agencies hindered the opening of finished store. Also, in this case, I would choose to implement the pest analysis. So for the political, IKEA expansion of the opening new store of IKEA in Russian market have related to the government in that country. The declining rate of opening reflected an increasing level of problem, most of which have to do with the administration and opaque the Russian bureaucracy. The country's politicians started to admit that the country having a problem related to the corruptions. Besides that, the politician repeatedly criticized corruption as a significant impediment to a foreign investment. They also urged to take action from non-government organizations such as Transparency International (TI). Besides that, For the economy, Ikea had already entered most of the established, developed economy and had even started to move into emerging markets such as Russia market. Russian appeared to be an obvious choice, especially as Ikea had already sourced raw material and finished product from Russia. Russia had been going through political and economic turmoil, including a slight decrease in its overall population and period of extremely high inflation and negative gross domestic product (GDP) growth. Russia is still far behind the European average consumer for furniture, with the expenditure rate estimated at €7 per person in compared with to up €300 spent annually per person in Germany. Next, for the social, IKEA targeted young people aged between 20 and 35 years. Most of Russians were in need to upgrade the interior of their apartments, and only 3% of all purchases were paid by the credit card, and the large number of middle-class cars in the parking lot demonstrate that it was not just the upper class that could afford to buy IKEA. And lastly is the technological, where IKEA established its innovative business model of self-assembly by the customer and flat packaging for easier transport. So we move to the option available for this case, good internal control system. So from this option, it's to ensure that the internal control deficiencies are identified and communicated in a timely manner to those responsible for making the corrective action. Besides that, it's also will monitoring the process involved establishing a foundation for designing and executing monitoring producer that are prioritized based on the risk and assessing and reporting the result, including following up on the corrective action where necessary. Besides that, the IKEA also can create the whistleblowing. So through this whistleblowing is the most effective way to detect and prevent the corruption in the commercial transaction. It also promotes the transparent structure and effective clear communication in the organization. Lastly is the having a good corporate governance. It will inject the transparency and accountability so that it is very clear how decisions are made and why when the decision level. The preferred option that I choose is to having a good corporate governance. Through this option, it will provide some the IKEA will provide can provide some training or seminar to the employees related to the good governance implementation and practices in the organization. Besides that, they also need to monitor the organization performance of the business, and ensuring legal compliance is a major aspect of the board's monitoring roles. It also needs to build and maintain an effective governance infrastructure and to ensure that the line of responsibility between board and management is clearly delineated. Thank you.